confirmed physical separation at 1:05 p.m. Central Time as the station was flying 259 statute miles. As the station and Dragon was... That was confirmed physical separation at 1:05 p.m. Central Time as the station was flying 259 statute miles off the coast of Chile. 2 good undocking burns and a nominal impulsive retreat burn. Next will be a brief hold at waypoint 1 before the fly-around sequence is executed. We'll be monitoring Crew Dragon throughout the departure sequence as it makes its way from the International Space Station. Godspeed to Shane, Megan, Aki, and Thomas.
Dragon SpaceX, we see the onboard warnings for Dragon I-1. No correction is required. Dragon is navigating on Dragon I-2.
Copy, good, Dragon I-2.
Suits, we will transition cameras to external only if desired.
We're about at this position, actually right now, about halfway. Then they'll execute a 50-second fly-around burn 1. This will take them from the zenith or the space-facing side to the aft or the back of the station and cruise for a bit until they hit the aft portion. It's expected that during this part of the flight will be in an orbital nighttime. So right about these 2 burns, fly-around burns 1 and burn 2, we should be getting some views of the International Space Station, maybe even of the Dragon, but they will be a little bit on the darker side. Then, of course, the next 2 burns, burn 3 and burn 4, will be in the daylight, and the whole maneuver itself will take about an hour and a half. You can see the position of the Dragon, the very top portion of the Dragon with the nose cone face down towards the International Space Station at all times. This allows for the crew inside with a perfect window view looking down at the International Space Station to take digital photographs the entire way around. It's a photographic survey opportunity of the exterior of the International Space Station, allowing the crew to visualize some of the areas of the space station that can't normally be seen by some of the external cameras on board. Not too long after it makes this full loop over the course of an hour and a half, there are 2 departure burns. Departure burn 0, that gets them outside of the keep-out sphere, which they will have been hugging for about an hour and a half. And then depart burn 1, which sends them right outside the approach ellipsoid. At that time, we are outside of joint operations between the International Space Station flight control teams and the Dragon teams here in Mission Control Hawthorne. They'll be taking control of Dragon's journey for the remainder of its flight. Some of the Dragon cameras that are on the forward end of Dragon pointing down, and that position will be held really throughout this entire fly-around flight. We're 40 meters away at this point, but you can see an absolutely gorgeous view of the space-facing side of the International Space Station. Really good to take pictures now because we're getting this view while we're in an orbital daytime. It won't be long until we have a sunset here as we make that first burn maneuver to go from the very top or the zenith space-facing side. We're going to course. The Terminator line that separates light from dark is right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean right now, so we're expecting sunset in aft burn. It's about a 50-second burn that maneuvers the Dragon into a position to essentially cruise down to right behind or at the aft section.
Taking photos for this fly-around maneuver, and Aki is also out of his seat assisting Thomas to take these photos. As Gary mentioned before, we will be the crew.
Very, very clear. Now we're getting the views of the Dragon from the space station. Absolutely beautiful. We're now over the North Pacific Ocean, about 260 statute miles. We just passed over the east coast of Japan.
the trunk section or the unpressurized section of Crew Dragon. That trunk will be jettisoned prior to the capsule.
The flag of Japan clearly marked on that module. Right above that, towards the space-facing side, is the logistics module, essentially the storage area. And then the Japanese module has its own airlock to put out experiments. It's too small to fit humans. We have bigger airlocks for that. But this airlock is small enough to fit some of the payloads or experiments, many of which you see on this external platform, each with their own lock for their 6-month stay. After that 50-second burn, that is the last cruise phase. They'll meet up with the same point where they started, which is essentially on the R bar, or it's a vertical line right through the middle of the space station, where the Dragon will graphic there, depart burn 0 and depart burn 1 to get it outside the approach ellipsoid. It's a 2 kilometer by 2 kilometer by 4 kilometer oval shape that's around the space station. And once it exits there, we'll stop joint operations between the station and Dragon mission control teams. And from there on,
and of course, the intended launch of the Crew-2 crew. So it's been pretty busy here, trying to juggle the opportunities to both return and just a little bit now as well. You can actually see the Draco thrusters firing, which of course are allowing Dragon to hold its position during this very carefully choreographed maneuver around the station.